Welcome to Bridgeside Live. This is a live in-studio music concert series, which we're doing the Zoom edition for the foreseeable future until we can have people here in my garage studio. Gina, you've played twice now, I think, right? You did a solo set, and then you've done with Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, and the one under my name was sort of like the proto band for one of my projects now called Gold Sound, which is like a lo-fi instrumental hip hop, I don't know, neo soul thing. I don't know what to call it. Jazz adjacent.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what would you categorize your music now as?
So today I'll be playing my songs. It's pretty folky. I've been calling it indie folk. I think that's kind of like the best description of it. Yeah, but it's my songs.
Awesome. Well, welcome to, I would normally say welcome to the studio, but now we'll say welcome to the control room, Gina Sobel.
Awesome.
You want to play, what's your first song called?
I'm going to do a tune called Nacogdoches. It's not spelled that way. If you want. It's spelled Natchitoches, but
I was going to write a graphic for it right now so I could put it in.
Yeah.
Get through that, but I'm not even going to try.
It's all right.
We'll do that in post.
It's a town right on the Texas-Louisiana border that I drive past a lot on tour. This song is about being on the road. Catback Hills wind blows. You can see when the states change, but everything still feels the same. Well, these roads have a disregard for distance, and I disregard the distance, yeah. Went to Amarillo on a hunch, met some folks, they bought us lunch, told us to see the Cadillacs. We went north instead of that. Well, these roads have a disregard for distance, and I disregard the distance. Maybe California's what we need. We are west, I wanna believe, yeah. Yellow lines down the coast, the rocky shores are full of ghosts. Voices roar with the tides, we nod our heads and drive. Well, these roads have a disregard for distance, and I disregard the distance. Oh, well, these roads have a disregard for distance, and I disregard the distance. distance. Yeah.
Woo!
Thanks, man.
If you thought there was less claps, because you normally play here in front of the 10-person crew we have, you only get one. I got to work on the clap track for these streams,
It's
but
great.
that was awesome.
Thank
I really
you.
enjoyed that, actually. I was grooving in here.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mark Wyatt. Mark Wyatt with the comment. Danimal710 sounds great, Gina.
Aw.
Yeah, can you see these chat messages?
It's a little fuzzy on my screen, so I can only see that they exist, but
Okay, so I will tell you, so we won't distract you from the awesome music. Dinesh Lee, it's a little, it's a tech thing. But, all right, Gina, we talked a little bit before, and we've met before, obviously. But you're a Virginia native, right?
I am. I'm from Virginia.
And how long have you been in this part of the, well, no, you're in Cali right now, right?
Yeah. So lately, this last year and a half or so, I've been sort of splitting my time between Southern California and Virginia, and then touring the rest of the time. And when all this craziness hit, I was in California. So here I am.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about your journey through finding kind of your voice in the music sphere, like, you know, because you feel like, can you speak to that? Like the stuff you identify with, you know, and how you present yourself now in this modern age with what's going on in the world, how you found that voice.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up with jazz all the time. My dad's a jazz guitarist, and it's pretty much, I would say, 90% of the music that was listened to in my house growing up, and the concerts my parents took me to when I was a kid. It was jazz, which is pretty amazing. As a flute player, a lot of times flute players aren't introduced to that whole realm of music, just sort of pushed towards Mozart or, you know, Chaminade or whatever. And so I always knew that I loved jazz, and figured out pretty early on that that's what I wanted to pursue. And jazz adjacent music, I've been using that term a lot, but I play a lot of funk and soul and instrumental hip hop and all the stuff that sort of grew out of that world. But when I got to college, my freshman year, I took a music seminar with this incredible professor, Amy Woolley, professor and mentor, really. And it was pop music of the 1960s. And it was kind of the first time I really sat and listened to Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell and the Beatles and all these, you know, obvious bands that I should have probably listened to before, but I hadn't really. And I was just really moved by it, and it inspired me to start writing and learn how to play the guitar. And for a long time, I really felt like I was in the wrong decade, that I didn't belong in my own time. And it just took growing up a little bit, I think, to realize and sort of investing myself in my world and my community for me to figure out that, no, it's okay. I grew up here. I'm part of this world, and I can take what I've learned and what I love from the music in the 60s and obviously I wasn't there for it, but what I sort of imagine the community and the culture to be like, and bring that into my own world. So, but it just I was very sad about it for a long time. I really felt like I was just in the wrong time.
I feel like a lot of people that like older music that aren't liking what's being pushed out there right now, they feel the same way, you know, like, and it takes finding a community of people that have the similar interests, right?
Yeah.
Like, is your band like that? Where those, like, is Choose Your Own Adventure kind of like those, working with them and collaborating with them? Are they kind of those like-minded people maybe you were looking for a while?
Yeah. I think part of it was just within myself, like having the confidence to bring my own perspective into the current era. But yeah, absolutely. I think there's so much great music right now that might not be popular. I feel like there's a lot of music made for other musicians, like bands like Wolfpack and Nate Smith and Snarky Puppy, Hiatus Coyote, all these bands that are sort of like taking a lot of great influences from the past, but putting their own spin and incorporating contemporary elements into it and just like their own voices and experience. Like that's what we do in Choose Your Own Adventure. That's what we do in Gold Sounds. We just try to play music that we love, but we're not trying to like be a museum band. That's something I've always been scared of. Like it has to be living, you know, the music that you play has to be real in the moment, or at least that's what I like to do. I know a lot of people might want to play traditional Renaissance music, and I totally respect that, and I'm glad that that's happening, but that's not what I'm here to do. So I feel really lucky I've got bandmates and a community to do that in.
That's amazing. I believe that creativity is better together, you know, so it's like collective, collaborative, creative environment that works well. It can be very volatile too, but ones that work well kind of help you see things from different light, you know, and different lens, and you can come up with something even greater, I think, together.
So true. So true.
Not everyone might agree with that, but that's what I think, at least. There is definitely the time where you can get your own space and discover things on your own and grow yourself. But I think the community creative environment is very vital.
Yeah, absolutely. I learned so much from playing with other people, and I often write by myself, or I come up with initial ideas by myself, but then I bring it to the band and we extrapolate on it and see where it could go, or someone else brings an idea. Choose Your Own Adventure is a no rehearsal band. I think we've had 5 rehearsals in like the 4-year history of that band, because it's all about the live experience and the playing together. And if you have the right people, it works. It's really fun.
Awesome. So you have more songs for us, guys.
Yes.
Thank you for joining the stream. We're with Bridgeside Live with Gina Sobel. We're going to take some questions in between songs, so send it to us after the song. We'll take another question or two. And you got like 7 songs for us, right?
Yeah,
six
as many as we need. Yeah.
Oh, you got everything. You play every instrument. You have a million songs, all different genres. I love it. All right.
Still working on all the instruments, but we're getting there. This song is called "Gotta Go." It's I call it my breakup song with the state of Virginia, because you have to leave home sometimes. Like you can't just. For me, it felt like I had to leave, and it wasn't until I left like 3 or 4 times and came back that it was like, oh, this is home. But anyway, this is on one of those times I left, and actually the picking pattern I'm going to do is pretty traditional folk style. It's called Travis picking, where your thumb is the bass player, right? But then I kind of put my own spin on it. This is called Gotta Go. It's not the way you comb your hair or the way you say goodbye. It's not the songs that you sing or the looks in your eye. It's just that I've been here a while and the day is getting long. Regrets are smiling in my hands, so please don't get me wrong. It's a long road, and I gotta go. It's not that there's somebody else that I would rather hold. I don't wanna hurt you, but I'm scared of getting old. It's just that I've been here a while and the day is getting long. Life is not a frozen sea for us to stand upon. It's a long road, and I gotta go. Thought I'd take a look at you from a far and distant shore, hoping it would turn out I don't love you anymore. Well, you know that I've been here a while and the day is getting long. I will always love you even when I'm gone. It's a long road, and I'm gotta go.
Woo! That was awesome.
Thank you.
I love the
Thanks.
finger picking in that one. That was a sweet, sweet tune.
Thank you.
Did you play any of these songs last time you were here?
I can't remember what I played last time.
I feel like I would remember. I have a decent memory of the content because
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. But,
I don't think that I did play either of those. Maybe
awesome.
Nakadosh, but and I was playing electric guitar for that one, which is
Yeah.
what I do live a lot. It's actually been really fun getting to play more acoustic since I've been home. I've been playing a lot more acoustic just because I don't know.
I think
feels
that
good.
song definitely would sound, I mean, in my opinion, better on an acoustic than the electric. I don't know. It's a
It
different
sounds
vibe.
pretty cool. Yeah, it's very indie folk with electric. It's lots of reverb and delay, and I use a harmonizer and stuff. So it's just, yeah, it does change the character of the song a little bit.
Vernon Griffith on YouTube. Woohoo! Hey, this is Hondo from Brooklyn. Gina Sobel, you rock.
Oh, thanks, man.
Hondo's actually the host of Bridgeside Live, generally, for the last season and a half or two. Looking forward to have you back, buddy. Mark White said definitely. I think maybe to something we're saying, maybe the finger picking. Oh, nice from You Did It Man on Twitch. Hey, everybody. Glad everyone made the stream. How's everybody doing? If you have any questions for Gina, we'll take one now before we go to the next song. But I do have a question of myself.
Okay.
You mentioned your college class before, right? Pop music in the 1960s. Do you still talk to that professor?
Every now and then,
It was an influential professor in your life, right?
Yeah, she really was. She was a visiting professor, so she was only at my school for a couple years. I learned to play guitar in her Appalachian music ensemble, Virginia, right? Of course, there's an old time ensemble, and she ended up teaching in DC afterwards. After she left William and Mary. And so I would meet her for coffee pretty regularly, and it was always great. We're sort of in loose touch now. I think she lives in Ohio, but someone like that never leaves your life. She's
a great teacher or mentor is a great thing. Like
yeah,
you don't forget
absolutely.
those relationships. Like the best teacher you've ever had, you don't forget that person.
Yeah.
It really means a lot, kind of in your growth as a human, no matter what
So
age.
true, so true. Yeah.
All right. What's the next song you have for us?
I'm going to do a tune called Matches. We just recorded this on the Choose Your Own Adventure record that's coming out hopefully at the end of May. We'll see if we get to do a live show for that or if we'll just release it remotely. But we did a very different version of this. It's got like a kind of Paul Simon vibe, but I'll do it how I wrote it on acoustic. You were right when you said I was inexperienced. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I wanted. But I smiled and I said, don't tell me what I want. We got time, so much time. Now I'm not a sad soul, but I cry a lot. Lost between your words and whispered thoughts. Well, the road is hard. It can be dark as night. Oh, but we got the matches, yeah. We got the light. Well, the fog rolls in and it piles up. heavy on our shoulders, oh, heavy on our hearts. We're like birds on a branch with our necks out, reaching for the high notes, yeah, reaching for the high notes. Now I'm not a sad soul, but I cry like I lost between your words and wistful thoughts. Well, the road is hard, it can be dark as night, oh, but we got the matches, yeah, we got the light. Ba-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Well, there are days, there are nights that I will never know, but I got time, a little time. Now I'm not a sad soul, but I cry like I lost between your words and wistful thoughts. Well, the road is hard, it can be dark as night, oh, but we got the matches, yeah, we got the light. Well, we got the matches, oh, we got the light, yeah. We got the matches, we got the light.
Yes, I was in here drumming on my lap. I'm a
Yes.
drummer, if you didn't know. A lot of people don't know I'm a drummer.
I think I did know that. I don't remember how, but
Because we built this studio, we turned the garage into the studio for a family band that consisted of my sister and two cousins. And,
So cool.
And then they started playing, half the band started playing with a bunch of other, other bands. My sister sings for a band called Jane Lee Hooker. My cousin Ryan, I don't know if you know Ryan, Schwiz, played in a band called Schwiz, named after his nickname. But they started off going into different projects, and by the time me and Billy finished the studio, everyone was busy. So we're like, let's start inviting artists here. And that's how Bridgeside Live started. So I've only played on the show. I played on the show twice, actually. One time a drummer didn't show up.
wow.
He showed up after the show, and I went in and sat in and played fine with them. Like, it was,
Oh my gosh.
it was cool.
That's awesome. Those could be some of the best shows like that, sort of.
It was a lot of fun, actually. Yeah. The most spontaneous creative moments are the best.
Yeah.
And so yes, I am a drummer, and I was backing you up without you being able to hear it on the lap.
Awesome.
But that was awesome. I'm loving
Thanks.
this, Gina. This is awesome.
So cool.
Hey guys, Trevor Peach.
Trevor
Peach. Hi, Gina, he says.
Hi.
You did it, man, on YouTube. On Twitch says, really appreciate the live music. I'm glad you guys are doing this. Glad y'all are doing this. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll continue doing this if people want to see it. So we're all about supporting the artist community. And if you've noticed, we've been gearing all our content towards the Zoom world and the live world. We've already been doing live for years, as you know, Gina. But now we're doing the Zoom conferencing to get people here. We don't have the crew we normally have. And we did a live cooking demo, if you saw on Sunday. Danny
sweet.
from our cooking show, Cooking in Brooklyn, taught me how to cook chicken franchise over Zoom. And I'm in the kitchen trying to cook and talk to them. I actually
God.
started a fire, and it was actually very good TV. It just a paper towel kind of caught fire on the burner, but I got it out pretty quick. But
Oh man, that's awesome. I have to go back and watch that. I love cooking in Brooklyn.
thank you. Hey, Danny's a character, man. A lot of the people here are my friends from growing up and friends that we made through the creative community. But you got a lot of characters in Brooklyn, you know.
Yeah.
You did it, man. Says big fan of Twitch musical content. We were saying before your friend has been delving into that. Yeah, so we'll keep putting out that musical content on Twitch. Maybe more musicians should in general.
Yeah. I get to check it out.
Awesome. All right, Gina. What's next? Is this song 4 now?
Yeah, I think it's 4. So this is the title track off my solo album that I released a while ago now, a few years ago. It's called World's Getting Loud. Yeah, that's it. She packed her bags today. He quit his job today. Everybody had a lot to say, but they did it anyway. I don't know if we're still gonna get there. I don't know how, but I think we're gonna find out. I don't know, but we're still gonna make it home. Yeah, oh, oh. Miss the bus to Kathmandu. Miss the train to London too. Doesn't matter what we do, as long as I'm looking at you. I don't know if we're still gonna get there. I don't know how, but I think we're gonna find out. I don't know, but we're still gonna make it home. Yeah, oh, oh. Faces blur along the way. I wonder where they are today. Pieces lost and still unfound. I wish we all lived in the same old town.
Awesome. That was great. Another one I'm jamming. I had some good fills on my lap there. That was great.
Oh man, we'll have to do it live someday soon.
Yeah, we should do a Bridgeside alumni jam. We've talked about that. We have kind of done it, but not really like a ton of people kind of sitting in and swapping out. I think that would be a lot of fun. You're very big on the improv, right? So
yes, I would be
you would be a great fit for it. We should do that soon. Hey guys, alumni out there, if this is something you'd find interesting, once we get back, maybe that's the first thing. Once the world kind of gets back to seeing people in person, it probably won't happen for a little while. But like even after it's gonna be an adjusting period for sure. But that would be an awesome way to come back, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm there. I will be there.
Yes, we got to do that. I'm actually getting excited thinking about it. I have a question for you. We talked about your growth of discovering your sound and kind of your place, your inner self through music. But that comes from the place of already growing up in a musical family, meaning trying to find that voice. But what made you say, yes, I'm musical? This is, you know what I mean? That goes beyond finding that spot within the music and creativity. Sure. But it was just, you had no choice in your house?
Well, it was...
I had no choice in my house. Well,
yeah, kind of. I mean, I think that my parents were of the mind that like if I was interested in it, they were all in, but like if I wasn't going to practice, they weren't going to support me in it, like, or they weren't going to pay for lessons if I wasn't going to practice, basically. And I just loved it. I loved it from the beginning. I started on piano, actually, which is, I guess, what a lot of people start on. I don't really gig on it, but I write on it a lot. And then I picked up the flute in 5th grade, and saxophone in high school, guitar in college, learning fiddle now. It's just like there's so many great instruments and ways to express yourself through the different instruments. I don't know. I just never questioned it. I always knew. Like growing up, I always loved music and arts, and I love being outside, and everyone thought I was going to be a vet because I love animals, but it could have been either, but I'm really glad that I was able to pursue music as my thing all the time.
It's awesome. Yeah, I grew up with everyone. My mom was like an operatic singer. My father,
oh wow,
piano players. Everyone. I'm the worst singer in my immediate family, but I'm not terrible. Like they're all so good.
yeah.
My sisters, yeah, and my brother. But I play more instruments though, so I got that versatility. How many instruments do you play? You just mentioned what you learned.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, flute,
That's
sax,
like 5 right there.
guitar, voice, piano, learning fiddle, and then I like mess around on electric bass and dulcimer, kind of whatever I can get my hands on. But I mostly perform on guitar, flute, and sax. Those are kind of my primaries, and singing, of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that's an instrument as well. Your vocal cords.
As you well know from your mom.
Yes. Yes. She is very loud, even in speaking.
Wow.
Okay, what do you got next for us?
Oh man. Okay. So I've been working on some new music. Nothing ready to perform yet, but I was playing around with some lyrics yesterday, and I was working on a melody, and I was thinking, man, that's so familiar. That melody's already been written. And then I was like, oh, I already wrote that melody. And it was an old song that I hadn't played or thought of in years. And I was able to find a recording of it at the bottom of my iTunes, like untitled list. And I sort of relearned it. So I figured I'd bring out this old old song, I guess. It's called Wasting Time. And I just feel like it feels very real right now in this sort of crazy limbo that we're all stuck in. All over the world, we're stuck in this. So, yeah. Last stormy days of summer cut loose another fall. No thoughts of substance heed the meager call. There are dreams preserved in iron, dreams defined in ink. But if your dreams are built like sieves, you're surely bound to sink. Ooh, oh, 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 oh. Wasting time is the biggest crime. Days slip and I forget my mind. They lose their way, they don't remember the lines. Wasting time is my biggest crime. Over school and all the grades, down to the letters that they used. Never asked to play a song that fits us in her shoes. She can sing like Ella, he can write like Robert Frost. But in the reach to be like them, our own beliefs get lost. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Wasting time is the biggest crime. The days slip by and I forget my mind. They lose their way and they don't remember their lives. Wasting time is the biggest crime. So the next time you are walking in the woods or on the streets, take the time to think about the direction of your feet. Because time is everlasting when we're here and when we've gone. But how we spend the time we have is worth spending some time on. Ooh. Oh, 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 oh. Wasting time is the biggest crime. The days slip by and I forget my mind. They lose their way and they don't remember their lives. Wasting time is my biggest crime.
Wow, that was awesome. Very,
Thank
very
you.
poignant, right? Like you said, for the time.
Feels real. Yeah, feels real right
Like
now.
everyone's home. I kind of said this on the stream yesterday. People are home and they're saying I'm bored and stuff. If you're a creative person and you say you're bored, then you're not doing anything to feed your creativity. Like this is kind of like a good moment, not in the world, but the time to not be out there and with the hustle and bustle of life, especially in New York, especially in the pace of New York, where sometimes it's good just in general for people to stop and settle down and think about, and not go crazy with what's going on in the world and just kind of focus on different things in
I
life.
think, yeah, I definitely feeling that, like, there are all these projects I wanted to do for so long that I'm finally getting to. I find I write when I'm caught up on like the madness of tour and all that. And then I have like some quiet time to myself extended over a long time. And that's when I write the best
Yeah.
stuff. I also feel like there's a lot of pressure. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to take advantage of this time. And I know that it's like really what's happening is so crazy. So I think it's like that balance of like giving yourself the space to create, but also like if you need to take a nap or you're just overwhelmed or you need to, cook instead of do your art form or something. I've just found that I've had to balance a little more than like I expected to be able to get more done, but like some days I get up and I'm just like overwhelmed by what's happening and the feel of it all. And so I guess that's also an important thing to remember is like, yes, here's our time. We have this time. We never have this time. As creatives, we're our own business owners, right? Like we're doing everything. We're running small businesses.
Yes.
We're booking tours. We're, performing those tours. And it's so rare to have this sort of rest period, but also like, I think a lot of us need that rest. So just a thought.
Yeah.
Mental
I
health
said
awareness.
yesterday, if you say you're bored and you're creative in this time, this is a great opportunity for you to have that quiet time and grow some things, do some things that you've put off. A lot of creatives are procrastinators, like in general, not everyone, but
No, I hear that.
but you're an entrepreneur, you're your own entrepreneur. You're an entrepreneur of your brand, of your music or your art brand. So there should never be wasted time.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean to tune off and, like you said, and regroup. But yeah,
It's a balance. Yeah.
it's a balance. Life is all about balance. I don't know if you have to leave soon because you have a lesson at some point, right?
Yeah, I've got a couple minutes still. I could probably do a couple, like 2 more tunes, maybe something like that.
Yes, as much as you
I'm
want.
late, so I'm actually doing this. Okay, so I'm supposed to be in Brooklyn the first week of June.
Woo.
I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows? It'll probably get postponed. With my band Gold Sounds, we're doing a direct to vinyl recording, at least of all sound recordings, at some point. But because so many people are not able to be there and they're not open right now, they're doing these things they call shut-in sessions where their artists are going to like there's like a pre-order page where you can pick which tune from the artist that you're listening to or that you're interested in, and the artist will record a one-of-a-kind performance of that song, and then it'll get cut direct to vinyl, at least of all, and then shipped out within a month. And so my pre-order ends tomorrow, actually. So if you check out my Instagram, it's Gina_Sobel. It's the link in the bio, or you can just check out Least of All sound recordings, and this is the song I'm about to play. That's why I'm going through all this, is one of the ones I'm offering. It's called East Colorado, and it's actually one of the ones we were going to do with Gold Sounds. It's a Gold Sound song. So this is my acoustic version of it. And for anyone who's driven from the East Coast to Denver, that last part of Route 70, you finally hit Colorado and you're like, yes, I'm there. I'm in Colorado. We've made it across the Midwest. And then it's like 6 hours of nothing, and it's the loneliest place in the world. And it's also you always get there at like 2 a.m. And it just feels. This song is about that feeling throughout life, not just in East Colorado. But anyway. It's a long way. It's a long way. It's a long way to anywhere from East Colorado. We drive through the night. Drive through the night. Drive through the night, 'cause it's easier thinking about home. What about all the things we don't say? You know not call. You know not call. You know that call yesterday. Why'd you have to move? Why'd you have to move? Why'd you have to move uptown? Now I never see you around. I promised I would go. I promised I would go. I promised I would go to your show. I'll catch the next one. Whoa. What about all the things we don't say? You know not to call. You know not to call. You know not to call yesterday. Ooh. you'll not let go.
Woo!
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Are all these songs on one of your albums or in the upcoming one? The
Um,
vinyl?
So a lot of them I'm offering on this vinyl, but the way it works is that like you order a specific song,
Okay.
and then I'll do a one of a kind. Like for each person
Gotcha.
who orders East Colorado, I'm going to record a separate version.
That whole vinyl thing is just specifically for the Gold Sound setup right now. Okay.
Yeah, and that one's actually just for the one I'm doing now is for just solo Gina Sobel, because the other half of Gold Sounds is in DC right now, so we can't really play together. But most of these songs are on recordings. That one actually is on the Gold Sounds single. It's on Spotify and iTunes and all the places. And I think there's a cool video of us playing it last time we were in New York at the Powell Flute showroom, which is I play a Powell flute, and they have this great, beautiful showroom in Midtown, and they brought us in, and it's usually like classical recitals, so we were definitely a bit of a change for that, but it was really fun.
Awesome. So there was a comment that came in right before you started playing that song. Glenn Miller's hometown in the not so colorful Colorado.
Oh yeah, from East Colorado. Wow, I didn't realize he was from there.
Yeah.
There are almost no people there. It seems like.
Yeah.
Not even. It's like wasteland prairie. A lot of it.
So you have one more for us, correct?
I think I can do one more.
Okay. I guess we won't. I was going to show a clip of Choose Your Own Adventure just for a second, but we can hold that for another time.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever you think is good. I got some flexibility. So
I wanted to just give a shout out to the full band and what came to pass.
Sure. Yeah. Choose Your Own Adventure is really fun. It's my live composed funk collective. And it's pretty different from what I've been playing, but the spirit's similar, I think.
What song should I play a clip of if you had to choose?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember what we did on that one.
You did.
Was there
Jam,
one?
Cut the Bite, all day long. Adventure
How about
1.
Cut the
Spoiler
Bite?
alert, and Adventure 2. What?
How about Cut the Bite? This is an idea from. So a lot of times the people in Choose Your Own Adventure, which is a broad group of people, it's a collective, will bring ideas. And this is one that Adam Ture, who's an amazing guitarist, he lives in New York, but he's from Virginia, which is how I know him. This is his riff that we turned into a tune. I don't remember how it ended up when we played at Bridgeside, because it's always different every time, but I'm sure it'll be cool.
You hearing that? Oh, no, we're not. There we go. You hearing that okay?
Yeah.
Nice. There you are on the flute. You killed it on the flute. Is there any inspiration behind this tune?
Well, the way Choose Your Own Adventure works is that a lot of times the people who are playing are really part of the inspiration for the songs. So Adam, the guitar player on the back right, this is his riff. I don't know if this group of 5 people had ever played it together before, but everyone's a great musician and keeps their head up and ears open. And, Graham's got, like, the drummer's got this really, like, backbeaty.
Right?
Yeah, he's got this awesome backbeaty style on this tune, and he brings that to it. And I love how rooted Chris's bass sounds on it. And like a lot of times when we played this song before, it was Andrew Hollyfield on bass in Virginia, And this is like Choose Your Own Adventure in New York. And even though most of these cats are from Virginia originally, and but Andrew has a really different style than Chris, so it brings out different aspects. It's a lot about the voices of the members and how they come together in this particular project.
That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna go back to you for the last song here.
This is a song that is on. It's on the most recent Choose Your Own Adventure album called Aussie Rules. The new one doesn't have a name yet. It'll be out, like I said, hopefully the end of May. But this song is called Long Blink. I dreamt of you in Sunday's light. You were my oldest friend. You told me it was all alright. I thought that you were here again. You were here again. You were here again. I remember holding your hand. Your heart beat faster than mine. I looked away and away you ran. Thought that I had lost you that time. Lost you that time. Lost you that time. Well, you taught me to be patient, serious when I need to be. Well, your voice is now your heart was warm when you called me. You show me that love is long, and even when it's gone, your voice can still ring in my ears when I call home. When I call home. You closed your eyes long enough to say that you trusted me. I looked at you and I closed mine too, to say that I love you. I love you.
I was awesome, and I realized that my mic was open the whole time, so I think you heard snapping. Hopefully it didn't ruin the song, but maybe it added some percussive sound to it.
So.
Gina, you are awesome.
Oh man, back at you, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for coming on. You are officially, you popped the cherry of this style of Bridgeside Live.
Awesome.
Zooming in, I thought it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. It's funny, even though we're so far away and everyone's using Zoom, you're kind of still connecting with people, and like maybe more so than you would have before, because you don't have the option, but now forces the issue kind of.
Yeah.
So this is awesome. I'm excited we could have you in. Dinesh Lee, great show. You rock.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Dinesh Lee also said that there's a sign on the road for Steve Miller's hometown. You must have missed the sign, but
I must have.
Guys, thank you for watching. Once again, thank you to Gina. Again, quick promo to whatever you're doing, what's coming up next if people are just tuning in now. What do you?
Oh,
What,
I'm sorry.
if
For
people
me.
if people missed what you promoted before, one last shout out
So
to
I'm
social.
Totally. So I'm doing a direct to vinyl recording project with Least of All Studios. There's a link on my Instagram profile, Gina_Sobel. And you can pick what song you want, and I'll record a one-of-a-kind version for you. And it'll get printed to vinyl by Least of All and sent to your mailbox. I'm really excited. My pre-order closes tomorrow, so check it out now. That's April 8th is the end of my pre-order. And there's a Choose Your Own Adventure album coming up at the end of May. So keep your eyes open for that. And go Bridgeside, for real. This is awesome.
Woo!
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. We're the Bridgeside Network, and we encourage you to support creators, build community, start rolling, and we'll see you on the Bridgeside.